In his book, Number in Scripture, Bullinger wrote the following about the spiritual meaning of 2. We now come to the spiritual significance of the number 2. We have seen that 1 excludes all difference and denotes that which is sovereign. But 2 affirms that there is a difference, there is another, while 1 affirms that there is not another. This difference may be for good or for evil. A thing may differ from evil and be good, or it may differ from good and be evil. Hence, the number 2 takes a twofold coloring according to the context. It is the first number by which we can divide another, and therefore in all its uses we may trace this fundamental idea of division or difference. The 2 may be, though different in character, yet one as to testimony and friendship. The second that comes in may be for help and deliverance. In his book, The Biblical Meaning of Numbers from 1 to 40, Stephen Jones wrote the following. Beth is a house or household in Hebrew. God established the household with Adam and Eve, 2 people in a marriage. This provided direction, a double witness in the family to know the will of God. It takes 2 points to make a line and establish direction. The number 2 signifies either division or a double witness. God established 2 covenants in the Bible, first as a double witness of truth, but also to establish direction. Going from the Old Covenant to the New Covenant shows a progression of revelation from the lesser to the greater. This same principle is found with Hagar and Sarah, Ishmael and Isaac, with Jacob and Israel, with David and Saul, and in the New Testament, in the contrast between Saul and Paul. In each case, there is division with a resulting conflict between the 2 characters, yet also God establishes the pattern of moving from one point to another. 2, meaning division or a double witness. So we find that on each day of creation, God divided. First, the light from the darkness. Then the waters above from the waters below. Next, the waters below from the dry land or earth. Then the day from the night with the 2 great lights. On the 5th day, God divided the birds above from the creatures in the sea. Finally, on the 6th day, God created humankind, male and female. He then gave us dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. In a sense, this too is division. First division, followed by a witness, for when that which is divided is joined to that which it is divided from, oneness takes place and a witness is born. Think about it. Deep inside all of us is the desire to be one, not just with our Maker, but with each other and with all creation. It's called harmony. Microsoft Copilot states, when relationships find their cosmic rhythm, when hearts beat in sync, that's harmony. Proof of this lies in the countless collectives we have formed and continue to form. We are seeking union, agreement, confirmation, structure, support, understanding, and most importantly, love and acceptance. It cannot be a coincidence that when God created woman, He then brought her to the man, and the man said, "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh." Jesus said, "I and my Father are one." Jesus also said, "I do not pray for these alone, but also for those who will believe in me through their word, that they all may be one, as you, Father, are in me, and I in you, that they also may be one in us, that the world may believe that you sent me. And the glory which you gave me I have given them, that they may be one just as we are one." What a glorious and precious prayer, that they all may be one. God divided the female from the male, then immediately brought her to the male, and the male declared the principle of oneness, that which was divided becoming one flesh. The power of two is in relationship, oneness, union, for it is in relationship, oneness, and union that conception takes place and the next generation arises. This can be external or internal. First division, male and female. Then witness, male and female joined together. And what brings this union? Love. For God is love, and we are made in His image. But love can be misdirected. In other studies, I define pride as the inordinate love of the self. And what is the manifestation of this inordinate love? Independence, a characteristic strongly promoted by almost everyone and every society. Might this be why Jesus taught we must deny the self? Might the act of denying the self be the action of denying our independence? Gemini states that independence is the state of being free from the control of others. It can apply to individuals, groups, or nations. Independence? It is an illusion, for when we strip everything down to its rawest form, we discover that everything is connected, and it is this interconnectedness that sustains all things. Think about it. Is it true that the independent person does it all on their own? No. For none of us can accomplish anything without first being taught in some form or fashion by those before us, whether it be parents, family, friends, or society at large. We certainly could not accomplish anything apart from the fact that it is first our Maker who instills in us our intelligence, talents, and abilities. These are all gifts. No prodigy can say, "I did this." Paul tells us that the carnal mind is death, and what is meant by the carnal mind? It is a mind of pride, of the inordinate love of the self. It is a mind completely sold out to the idea of its independence. And this pride or independence is manifested through our prejudices, whatever they may be. On the surface, we are divided by culture and language, but inwardly, we are all the same. If anything, social media is proving this now more than ever. For the same pride and independence that's destroying us is destroying those in other countries. Perhaps the saddest thing about our struggle with the pride and prejudices that form early in our lives is what we miss because of them, but I do believe that this is ordained by our Creator. First, division, followed by witness. And why is this division necessary? To teach us the unconditional love of the Father and Son. Where love is unconditional, prejudice cannot exist. Jesus taught that we should love our neighbors as ourselves, but He also taught that we should love our enemies. Why our enemies? Because it is this that truly reflects unconditional love. Years ago, I was having coffee with my brother and a couple of our good friends. We were discussing spiritual topics and having a good time. At one point, I thought about Jesus saying, "Love our enemies," and wondered how this could be done. Then all of a sudden, this thought went through my mind. How do we love our enemies when we don't perceive them as enemies? Allow me to close with the following. If someone says, "I love God," and hates his brother, he is a liar. For he who does not love his brother whom he has seen, how can he love God whom he has not seen? And this commandment we have from Him, that he who loves God must love his brother also.